Martin wants to give you all a very special gift. He's got Kodak
Kyle mentioned our mission is to educate, celebrate, and develop the next generation of great filmmakers. I don't think there is a partnership that exemplifies that more than this partnership. So please clap it up for the Huntington. Make some noise. We're so excited, we're so grateful and thankful. And I'll end on this. It's one thing to tell young artists that their work matters. It's another thing to immortalize their work in a historical institution like the Huntington. And so I can't express enough how grateful I am for all the hard work and dedication of our young filmmakers. Please clap it up for them one more time. The last thing I want to say is I caught myself telling some of these incredible filmmakers that they are the future of the film industry. Tonight I want to say that's not true. They are the now of the film industry. This is their moment. They're not the future. They are already here. They have arrived, and I'm really excited to say that. So I hope y'all enjoyed the incredible show, the fancy food, the beautiful setting. Thank you all so much for coming here.
So the Kodak GFS grant will award one filmmaker from each cohort with 4 rolls of Kodak motion picture film of their choice, along with processing and scanning. So let's offer a huge round of applause to our support partners, Kodak. Tonight, our guest of honor is the legendary Charles Burnett, a man who has a storied relationship with 16mm film, having shot his first feature, Killer of Sheep, entirely in the format using a handheld camera. In 1990, this film was selected for registration and preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. Burnett went on to write, direct, and produce several impactful films, including My Brother's Wedding, To Sleep with Anger, The Glass Shield, and many other films. Recurring themes in Burnett's work, which are inspired by the portraiture films that you're about to see as well, include history's effect on the structure of family, denouncing stereotypes and cliches of working-class African Americans, and the emotional consequences of humanistic struggles like maturity and self-identity. Burnett has been called one of America's very great filmmakers by the Chicago Tribune, and by the New York Times, one of the most gifted Black directors. Tonight we champion his significant contributions to preserving and documenting portraiture of Los Angeles, and we commend Burnett's commitment to mentoring and fostering young filmmakers, an intergenerational connection that has inspired a new wave of filmmakers to tell stories meaningful to their communities. So let's give a huge round of applause for Charles, who unfortunately couldn't make it with us tonight. I have the distinct privilege of welcoming to the stage our wonderful executive director, Mr. Brandon Santiago.
Clap it up for Kyle. Make some noise for my man Kyle. It's a Thursday night. You all made it this far east. Clap it up for yourselves. We really appreciate that. Thank you. I just want to say first and foremost, any parents or grandparents or mentors in the building, would y'all mind just standing up really quickly? Tonight is about our incredible filmmakers, but it's also about you. And I just want to say we really appreciate all the work. GFS is a program that requires a lot of dedication. And so thank you all so much.
Hi, we have shall I say, the lady of the night who won the award. And why don't you share with the viewers your name and the award that you won tonight?
Hi, my name is Sochi Garcia, and tonight I won the Kodak. It was like a filmmaker award where they just presented like a grant for a couple rolls of film to be produced and scanned for me. So yeah.
So give us a little of a story of your experience and journey through Ghetto Films. And first of all, start with, how did you find out about it?
Okay, I found out through a friend of high school. She just asked me if I wanted to join with her. She ended up not going through with the program, but I could do it, so I just continued the process, and it's been really good so far. They're really helpful, just helping us with resources that I normally wouldn't have been exposed to, so I'm really grateful for the program. Yeah.
So, your experience, are you in your first, second, or third year? Because I understand it's a 30-month commitment.
Correct.
And how do you engage the other students with your projects, or do you have to go out and get independent?
So I'm in my second year of the 3-year program at the moment, and at the moment it's very like independent, but our program, Ghetto Film School, helps us with every financial. So they don't really want like out-of-pocket pay for the students. So it's been really helpful financially, considering that we're a bit like, so every help that we get from the production side to like the DP, the AD, it's all in class. So we like pitch for each other's productions, which is really helpful because it helps us understand like the actual film industry, and it's a great introduction to that. And then as for budgets, we usually get budgets from Ghetto Film School, and then they give us like a certain amount, and then it's up to us to negotiate where we want that to go. And then for actors, we do scout actors. Usually in the beginning stages, it was more of our family, because we were kind of like more limited, but now it's our second year, so we're having we cast online, and it's been really nice interacting with people that are familiar to the industry as well.
Wow, that's impressive. So when you decided to seek enrollment with this, were you already an aspiring director or actor, or did you just say, I'm going to pursue it and see what happened with it?
Yeah, so in the beginning I wasn't exposed to the film industry at all, but I did know that I wanted to do something regarding to film. I think this program helped me understand that directing was something that I could possibly do in like a real way, which is what made me even more passionate about it. Yeah.
And can you share with the viewers, is this in conjunction with you being in college, or is it a standalone program so you can get through it to look at pursuing careers in the film and movie industry?
What's really amazing about this program is that the amount of connections that they provide. So I think standalone with this program, you can get into the film industry just of connections that they have. They have amazing connections like Sony and like Disney, and like we're always being hooked up with that. So I think that at the moment, currently, I'm not going to school in relation to this this program, because I'm really confident in the ability of this program to get me to the positions that I want to do in the future. Like, I'm also interested in like production design and those types of things, so I know there's definitely help available for that.
Okay, and last but not least, this is your $1 million question here. When they decide to give you a budget, who actually determines that? Do you determine it based on what your vision is for your project, or do they just give you a standard budget to work from and to see if you can manage the budget they give you?
Yeah, so they give us like a standalone budget, and then we decide whether that goes for like props or external equipment that we may need. Like we get prop for this production that we're working on currently. We got a budget of like they gave us like a good amount for props mostly, anything that we might need externally, and then we also have the ability to build our own sets, which is amazing considering that some people want to do some things out of the box. So it's helpful to just like lengthen what we could do creatively. Which I think is really, really helpful for our creative like young minds. And then we also get some things for like actors, so we're like paying our actors this time, which can also further enhance our filmmaking in general with better actors, you know. And overall, it's just like, it is up to us to negotiate where we want that money to go. and it's up to us to be responsible with it, which I think is a great, considering that we're all like young and we have the need to feel respected, and I think it does a good it does a good job in allowing us to make our own decisions for our films. Yeah.
So what would you share with young people as to looking into this program and how they can participate in it after your experience?
Okay, so definitely just go to ghettofilmschool.org. They have amazing resources there, whether that's like an older audience or a younger, like in high school students. We have resources available for all age groups, or for like most that are still interested in the film program.
Well,
sorry.
That's okay. You know what? And you are an amazing director. And I saw that great energy when your name was called. And I'm sure your family's very proud of you. So why don't you let them know how they can follow you on your Instagram or other handlebars so that they can follow your success?
Okay, so my name is Sochi Garcia. You can find me on Instagram. I'm following the Ghetto Film School. So if you follow Ghetto Film School, you could probably find me through there. Definitely just go to ghettofilmschool.org, where you can see like a bunch of resources, and if you're interested in the film process, there's still applications that go up every few months. Every summer we have new, we call them guppies, entering. So there's always opportunities with it.
Well, we want to thank you so much, and again, congratulations for your win tonight, and it sounded like you were well deserved.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, we're here with, I'm going to call him the man of the hour, and just being here tonight is unbelievable. The synergy of all of the support that's here, and then the incredible artists that have come through Ghetto Films has just been phenomenal. And what was most interesting to me was the history of the school and its contribution to the students. So why don't you share with us, how did you find yourself being a part of the Ghetto Film family, and how far back with the history of the school are you familiar with, to try and make sure the students are very in tune with the history, because it sounds like you guys have been spread across the United States.
Yeah, so it's been such an incredible experience, specifically because we get to have Joe Hall, who was our founder, come back and actually speak to the students to actually get them to understand the reason behind why Ghetto Film School was started. And it was about providing equity and access to the resources and knowledge that was isolated to specific academic environments, like top-tier universities and certain programs where it wasn't necessarily always accessible to our community. So thinking from that point, we kind of build the curriculum and structure around being able to provide this high-level production experience, professional development, and future paid opportunities within the industry, so that our people, our communities know that there's a lot of opportunities for them to tell their stories, have wonderful paying jobs, and support their families in the future. So one of the things that, in terms of my personal journey with GFS, I started with GFS in actually 2017. I taught the inaugural NYU GFS summer program along with 7 other colleagues, and it was one of the greatest privileges of my college experience at NYU, being able to work with fellows who were visiting from Los Angeles in New York, who had a lot of similar background and cultural experiences to myself growing up in Los Angeles, and then seeing them in New York, having traveled to New York for maybe the first time in their lives or even boarding an airplane for the first time. It was such a wholesome experience, and I knew from that moment that I wanted to be affiliated with this organization and that I wanted to continue to give back throughout my career, not just at the end of it. And so that's my big word of advice to everyone out there, is that it's never too early to lend a helping hand. Even though I'm building my career still as a filmmaker, it's really important to open up the doors for those who've opened the doors for us as well.
Wow, so why don't you share with the viewers, with Ghetto Films, are they a full-time organization where they have staff, they have a facility, studios, things of that nature, where a student can come in and actually get hands-on experience with staff? Or is it a platform that's created that could give them guidance?
It's both of those things. It's both of those things. So we do a lot of hands-on training at GFS and a lot of field trips, in-person activities such as our MBS training, where we go to a professional soundstage and learn about grip and lighting, which is really exciting to give them different trade opportunities in the industry outside of just directing, writing, producing, development. So those are a lot of things. We have a lot of infrastructure around our post-production facilities. We're providing them with final drafts for screenwriting. We're providing them with Adobe Suite for all editing services. We're in the trenches cutting with them, talking about locking picture, sound design, doing color. Every single creative mise-en-scène element that they discover and work with in their process, we're helping them understand how those elements will help them tell their story, right? We're breaking down the language of cinema and getting them to understand how they can use these tools to tell the stories that they're interested in telling. So I always like to say that what we're doing at GFS is just amplifying the unheard voices, right? We're basically creating opportunities for people who are super talented but don't necessarily have the information or access to equipment and technology which we can provide. And we give them the educational resources such as Criterion Channel or Letterbox, and really diving into the cinema history, diving into production aspects. So that's one of the big things that I've prided in our curriculum at GFS, is actually the lengths at which we do film criticism, because it's really important for us to be both producing and learning how to produce films, but ultimately understanding why certain things that we see make us feel the way that they make us feel. And so it's a dual-pronged approach to filmmaking, understanding where we come from in the cinema history and also within our communities in terms of the representation of our narratives within the larger film history, and then thinking about how we can recontextualize those stories through these new tools that we've learned and share those with the world.
Wow, so that's very powerful, because what I'm hearing on one side of what the organization does, it actually sets a real foundation, but then on the other side, what I'm hearing you doing is also being in the philanthropist engagement aspects. And so when you were going to college, was that your focus, or did you just come out and
That's a great question.
Find your way to find the balance for both? Such
a fantastic question. So it goes back to my high school education and also the values in which I was raised by my family. I'm Chicano. I was raised in East LA, in El Sereno, and Pasadena, California. So I was raised with a very strong perspective of understanding where I come from and what certain opportunities and privileges were afforded to me, and how I can then provide equity and access back to our community. And it's a privilege to be in this position, to be able to highlight and be passionate about the things that I am passionate about and share those things with the world. And GFS has created a platform for us to do that. And I'm just really grateful and humbled for that experience, to be able to be here and do that. But it also goes back to my high school as well. I went to Loyola High School in Los Angeles, which is a Jesuit high school, and a big part of that work in Jesuit education is about being a person for and with others. And that's a big part of my foundation and development as a young person is understanding that there's a larger society, there's a larger consciousness that we either decide to pay attention to or we ignore. And it's been my life journey to create more awareness of our narratives, specifically within Hollywood, specifically within entertainment, and to be doing it with an institutional partner like the Huntington Museum within the art space is a whole nother privilege, just given the nature of these spaces being predominantly white, and now us being able to canonize our stories and our communities in these spaces.
Well, you know, Kyle, I am so proud because, you know, I had a long conversation with one of your sponsors, Kodak, and they were sharing how they've, you know, opened their eyes to diversity and the outreach. And last night we were at the screening of Wakanda, the Black Panthers movie, and I talked to a lot of their executives and their outreach now, and it really seems like a more equity mindset that we're seeing here. Why don't you share in closing so the viewers can see really the staple that Ghetto Films has become, not only for you as a man of Hispanic descent, but really here in Southern California.
Yeah, a big part of that goes back to legacy. It goes back to legacy, it goes back to tradition, it goes back to acknowledging our ancestors, acknowledging the people who came before us, who paved these paths, you know, the Robert Rodriguez's, the Spike Lee's, the Julie Dash's, the Charles Burnett's, all of these great artists and filmmakers who, you know, forged a new path and opportunity for us to be in positions like this where we can continue to recontextualize the narrative of our communities and focus it back onto the humanization of our people, you know, focusing on humanistic struggles and allowing young new voices to be able to come into this space, share their stories, and know that they're empowered to do that with the best tools and resources possible. And I think that looking forward to the future, all we really want to do is continue to provide that those resources to young filmmakers to grow, to learn, to understand where they come from and know where they want to go, especially as it revolves around their story. And I think the beautiful thing about GFS is that we're impacting lives on a daily basis and transforming souls in ways that go beyond any tangible measure, just by creating experiences and connecting with people on a very deep personal level, such as tonight, where we see multi-generations of families come together to celebrate art, to celebrate culture, to celebrate identity. And I think that continuing to emphasize the importance of our stories to the larger world, to a global audience, as I was just mentioning with another supporter, it validates our need for a global audience to see our stories, whether it's specific to the Chicano experience in Los Angeles, or to the Black experience in South LA, or to the Asian American experience in San Gabriel Valley, right? Wherever we're coming from, it's important for us to know that these stories are very important and they can be done at a very high commercial value, a high production value, and ultimately impact a global audience.
Well, it was very impressive, everyone who spoke today about Ghetto Film School. What is amazing is I watched the news this morning, and the only organization they referred to last night as a result last night was you guys. So that says a lot coming from Disney, and you know, covering, because there was a number of nonprofits here last night.
We're setting the precedent for youth film organizations and in the industry, and it's a privilege to be doing it with incredible partners like the Huntington Museum and Kodak and everybody who supports us in this journey, and just grateful for all the future things that are going to come for this organization and our community. Wow,
well, it was a pleasure. I truly enjoyed it. And viewers, follow Ghetto Films to see who's going to be the next Spike Lee, Steven Spielberg, or who knows, Walt Disney.
That's right. All of the above.
All of the above. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Yeah, well, they say keep cycling.
Oh, keep cycling.
Yeah.
So each film is about how long?
2 minutes, 2 minutes. Depends on the year. This is 3 years of films.
Okay.
Each year had a different theme and had a different camera technology, film technology. They were using some digital, some for 16 millimeter, and then like I said, the themes are different. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
No. What? I dropped off my son at the Disney store.
He belongs on Disney.
So that will wrap up your interview. I'm going to get her, she was the award winner tonight, right? So I want to get her story and get her movie. It hasn't shown yet? Or do you know?
I don't know since I've been running around.
Right.
Do you need me to state my name and title for the camera?
Right.
Amazing.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to put your number in, so the follow-ups and whatever